Stop me! You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
Smoking Dank Sinatra, that's all gas. On the hunt in the tall grass. Intercepting every ball pass, then I run it back, that's a TD. Check the scoreboard, y'all last. We up one, you see me. Pussy niggas wanna talk about it, go to Hellcat, no demon. I be politicking on your broadcast at the red carpet like the famous homie. Ask your bitch, really famous homie, and you know it's in me. It ain't on me. So creative like I made Adobe. I've been balling like I played with Kobe.
What's the deal? What's the deal? We back again. PolitiKan The Podcast. First podcast of the year. Welcome to 2023. What's the deal, fools? How was y'all New Year's?
Yo, we deep up in here.
Hey, we back. So first announcement, man. So PolitiKan Broadcasting has a new official home. Black Cannabis Studios inside the Incubate compound in downtown LA. We'll be throwing a Los Angeles Media Day in March. So last year, you guys remember Media Day, i.e.?
Yeah.
Well, now we doing LA Media Day, boys. So I'm going to need y'all to pop back out, y'all. I'm going to need that speaker skill to come back out again. Let's get to it. But let's get to these topics, man. So first thing we're going to get to, Adrien Broner. We all know him as About Billions. You know, Money Mayweather protege, going all bad and sour, and now Gervonta Davis is the new Mayweather, golden child. But before Tank Davis, it was Adrien Broner, man. So Adrien Broner, he is now scorned, and he's calling out Mayweather for exhibition. He's saying that he's taking $10 million to do exhibitions versus nobodies in Japan. He's stating that this fight could bring in over 200 million in pay-per-view views, and he's calling Mayweather out for the fade. Next, we have UFC owner Dana White. So on New Year's Eve, he was in Cabo San Lucas, and he is caught on camera in a domestic dispute with his wife. So what do you think this is going to do to the UFC brand? And what does his future look like going forward? Because when it's the athletes, you already know what happens to them. But now because it's an owner, now everybody's, it's a whole different. They're talking about dual combat and some more bullshit. So we're going to get to that. Then we got to get to the NFL, man. We really can't talk a lot of sports right now because Damar Hamlin went into cardiac arrest and fell out in the Monday night game. He is still in critical condition. The game has been postponed. And it's a lot of things up in the air as far as the league pertaining to this scenario and the future of the league going forward. So we definitely got to touch on that. And Donald Trump. So it's official. The release of his tax returns came out. And to our surprise, he paid a whopping $0 for 2020 taxes. And they're saying that they found over 10,000 fraud discrepancies in his tax return. So we'll get to that, man. It's crazy. But first topic, man, Adrien Broner, man. He's challenging Mayweather. He's saying Mayweather's out there fighting nobodies, fighting random people in Japan and Dubai and all these places where he's beating these dudes up in 30 seconds and walking away with 10, 20 million for nothing. How do y'all feel about Adrien Broner calling out Mayweather? And do you think it's time that Mayweather actually takes an exhibition against a real fighter? Because the best challenge he had was not even Jake Paul. It was Logan Paul. He didn't even fight the real boxing brother. What are y'all thoughts on Mayweather picking and choosing these weak-ass fights and Adrien Broner calling them out? Do you think that fight will bring in over 200 million? I know if they did it, I definitely tune in.
You know what? Boxing is my favorite sport. I'm glad we finally got a topic on boxing. So let me go first on this motherfucker. All right, this is how it is. Adrien Broner. I watched Adrien. I was actually an Adrien Broner fan when he came out, and he had a lot of skills, a lot of boxing skills. He had a lot of talent, at first. But I think he coming up under Mayweather, he thought he was more than what he was before he did anything, and he had this big cocky attitude, like he don't understand Floyd Mayweather. The people that knew Floyd when he became popular, They thought he was an asshole, but the old Floyd used to put hands on people. The old Floyd, before he started breaking his hands, he used to knock people out. He used to serve everybody. He became a defensive fighter by default by his hands breaking, and he started making his money. Adrien Broner thought he could do the same thing. He went into that Marcos Maidana fight cocky as hell and got his ass whooped. He got his ass thoroughly whooped, and he has never been the same since he got his ass whooped by Marcos Maidana that first time. Now, as far as him complaining about Money May taking these, Money May ain't got nothing to prove. He's 50-0. Nobody has ever came close to beating him in the ring. I don't give a fuck what the excuse is, what they say. Nobody ain't never came close to beating that man in the ring. He's dominated everybody he fought throughout his career. He's beat everybody they put in front of him. He beat everybody he was supposed to. He's 50-0. To me, he's the greatest boxer of all time. Mayweather has nothing else to prove to nobody, so he could go ahead and take his little mini fights, fighting these nobodies. He's doing it for the love of the sport and to make a little quick money grab. So what? Adrien Broner is mad because he's broke and he didn't manage his little bread that he had buying 15 chains, knowing he was only worth $2 million. He didn't manage his money, and that fight will not bring in $200 million. That fight will bring in $20 million. Ain't nobody watching that shit. I will watch it because I'm a boxing fan, but the average boxing fan don't want to see an over-the-top Mayweather, which everybody already hates, in a sorry boo-boo ass Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner needs to sit his ass down and do something else. Ain't nobody watching that shit. Shit. Hell no.
Let me go. I want to go.
Go ahead.
All right. So I think it would be a good look because Adrien Broner was the golden child for the longest of times. And you never really get to see Robin call out Batman and actually get a fair fight, just for the entertainment side of it, right? But when you think about Mayweather and the fact that he would take any fight for any amount of money, especially considering the amount of hype that could come behind it, I have a hard time believing that he's not already a part of the hype and Adrien Broner trying to finally call him out. If it was me, especially how much, he's been coming at him because of Davis being great right now, if it was an authentic, authentic fight, an authentic feeling disrespected, he should have done it a long time ago. Right now, both parties are in agreement, just like with any of the Paul brothers. All of this is for entertainment. They'll probably do it. They'll probably make more than $200 million on pay-per-view because of how many people would love to see it and how many people know that it wouldn't be a real fight, that it would be a shit show. They'll still pay to watch it. They both will still cash out, and we'll have this conversation the Wednesday after the fight and go, told you so, because everybody's stuck on stupid anyway. So I would love to say that this was a bad idea, but this is a great idea. Two black men just staging something perfect just so that people can laugh. Come together, eat some good barbecue too.
Right. Yeah, I'm a UFC guy. Boxing's not too much of my thing, but I mean, I know a little bit about Mayweather's career. And to Mayor's point, I mean, people, still support Mayweather. They would still want to watch this fight. This is definitely, it seems like, so it's a money grab. I mean, if we're talking 200 million on the table already, that price is just going to keep going up for both fighters, especially for Mayweather. I mean, he might walk out of there with the 200 million alone, just because, he's that caliber of a fighter. But with Broner, I mean, look, man, this is definitely him challenging one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time, and just trying to secure that bag for himself, just like Conor McGregor did, trying to challenge Floyd Mayweather, and look how that changed his life. So, I think it's just a money grab. The fight's gonna happen, but I'm not tuning in though.
What you got, Carlton? Let's get some.
Hey guys, look, we're talking about it right now. We're all talking about it. So yes, it's a good thing. Anything for boxing that gets it more publicity is a good thing. Nobody, cares about Adrien Broner, but they care now that his name is tied to Floyd Mayweather, and we all go back and reminisce on when Adrien Broner was coming up. He was a very good fighter. He put in the work, but I think once he started getting money, he put the work to the side. Floyd never put the work to the side, and that's what separated them. And that's really all that I got to say. We're talking about it, and I would tune in. Any boxing fan would tune in. An old boxing fan would tune in to watch that. So I think it's good for the sport.
I think that it would be better than these damn influencer fights, personally, because if Logan Paul and all these dudes can make that money, then I don't see why Adrien Broner and Mayweather couldn't top that 200 mil mark. Now, as far as how much of that is going to go to Broner, probably like 10, 15 of it. Go ahead, y'all.
I don't really watch boxing anymore, but I would say,
Let's hear this then. Come on.
I would say Mayweather is good at this point of his career, even though he's retired. So he's taking these less fights and everything of that nature. It sounds like to me he's just doing the narrator game. Same thing that LeBron James does, right? You know, play the narrator game. He's able to pick and choose.
Don't do that.
He's able to. That was a bam.
Don't do that.
A jab at LeBron. But so Mayweather's going to pick and choose who he fights because he knows he's going to walk away with the cash, and he knows he ain't going to walk away looking stupid. So if there's a chance of him looking stupid, which I don't really know much about the other guy, but if there's a chance of, even though it doesn't count, Mayweather getting knocked out or Mayweather losing, why would he take that fight? It tarnishes his image. Like Ronnie said, he's 50-0. He's one of the greatest of all times. Okay, what's his name? Nate Robinson is one of the NBA dunkers, but everybody's remembering Nate Robinson for getting knocked out.
Got his feet.
Mm-hmm. Black Twitter is unforgiving.
Got his feet.
So, yeah. So, no.
Hey, hold on. Did y'all see Pac-Man Jones get whooped up?
Him too?
Pac-Man Jones just got whooped up, man. So they need to stop this celebrity boxing, man.
So what I'm saying is you have to play the narration game. He's playing the narration game. If there's a chance that I'm going to go on Black Twitter and y'all going to make fun of me, I may not do it. Maybe it's not enough. I mean, me, myself, the one I wanted to see was Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones, which Mike Tyson got like 10 million for that one, but I didn't watch it because if it's the same whatever. If it's the,
you need to put a bow on it.
Thank you, baby.
Land a plane.
If it's the same rules apply, where I didn't watch the Mike Tyson one because Mike Tyson was told he wasn't able to go all in on Roy Jones.
Yeah, it's an exhibition, so then there was no knockdowns or no knockouts allowed. So they weren't even allowed to knock each other out. So they was just in there punching each other with hard body shots and rib shots and all this. But the exhibitions that Mayweather's been taking, he's been knocking these dudes cold out. He fought that
because he can.
He fought that kickboxer in Japan, and he knocked that dude out in like 0 seconds. It was ridiculous.
Because they're not on the same level as him. I'm not saying the other guy's on the same level as him, but he has enough experience to probably try to knock out Mayweather. He ain't gonna take that.
Well, I don't know, because Broner, man, like Ronnie said earlier, man, when Broner first came out, naturally talented Broner was that guy. He was supposed to be the next nigga. You know, Gervonta Davis, I would say Adrien Broner was more talented than Gervonta Davis.
For sure.
So, if Tank can have these belts and sit atop and have this record, then there's no reason why Adrien Broner shouldn't be somewhere. He should be, damn near in the Hall of Fame with the talent that he possessed. But because of his antics, I remember on Cinco de Mayo, I forgot who he fought, but he won. He was like, I'm a black man, and I just beat up a Mexican because I feel like I could do anything I want to do. and just his antics. It was one time I forgot who he was fighting, and he like humped him. He had him in the corner and started humping the dude.
That's the fight he lost.
Yeah, it was my dad.
Yeah,
He lost.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
Then
That's
he
the
fought.
fight he lost.
Then he fought
Pacquiao.
He fought Pacquiao. He
got
ran the whole
clapped up.
fight. He landed like 30 punches the whole 10 rounds, and then got surprised when he lost.
Pacquiao knocked his equilibrium out. That boy was talking about cheeseburgers and some more shit after the fight. He was
trying to fight Larry Buffer. He was like, Larry Buffer, get your ass over here. Get your ass over here.
It's like
After that Pacquiao showing, Mayweather was like, I'm done with this guy. I can't have nothing to do with this because this guy is like tripping. And then he started calling himself about billions and flashing all this money and doing all this shit. But he wasn't active. He wasn't making no money because he ain't fighting.
He's
so
almost
as a
broke.
fighter in the fight game, you have to stay active to make the money. And he has not been active enough to make anything. And that's why he's trying to get a big money grab off of one fight. Because, to get 20 million, to get 5 million, he's going to have to fight 10 times. And as far as celebrity fighting, Logan Paul going to bring in more ticket sales than Adrien Broner fighting somebody else. So unless he go fight one of the Paul brothers, his best bet is to try to catch that fade with Mayweather, try to get his dollars up.
I'd rather see Bow Wow and Little Romeo.
It was like a year ago. He was in court. They said he had
$2 was a ref it.
He had $2 in his account.
Wow.
So I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
But listen, look.
$2. He need to get back
Cash App took 2 of it.
He get back up.
Look, you guys aren't even.
He was about to commit suicide, and his brothers had him all on the internet going crazy, talking about, this nigga talking about he gonna kill him.
He owes somebody. Here's
perfect. Yeah, I'll give you guys what I didn't hear you guys say nothing about. If Mayweather was his mentor, how much life skills did Mayweather teach him? You remember, look, no disrespect to nobody, right? How much truth did 50 Cent bring out about Mayweather that made us all sit back and go, oh, come on, bro. Don't make fun of the man reading. Don't make fun of the fact that he might actually be illiterate. Don't make fun of the fact that, he didn't actually get an education or he doesn't have it all the way there all the time. Like, don't do that. He's good at boxing and he's made money off of boxing. So, like, just let him live like that. You know what I mean? That's a black man doing this thing. No, but this is why I'm saying this, though. This is the only reason why I'm saying this. What could Mayweather have taught AB, right? Where here he comes into some big new money and then he just throws it to the wind like every other person does. Okay, this isn't Iverson. No, look, I'm just saying this isn't Iverson. He doesn't have nothing. Let me break this down.
No,
Caleb. The only point I was trying to make is that's why he's coming for the money.
I'm gonna make this point about Mayweather is that Mayweather isn't this like guru guy that knows what to do with his money and makes all this money.
Thank you,
Mayweather is flashy. He lives the lifestyle that Adrien Broner was trying to assimilate. So, no, he did not teach him what to do with his money. How Mayweather is good is he's partnered up with Al Heyman. Al Heyman, if you don't know, they own a lot of skyscrapers, and he took his money. Al Heyman took him under his wing, took his money, and started putting them into these hedge funds where they buy these skyscrapers in LA, where they buy these skyscrapers in Dubai, and all of this shit. So now, because he put his money with Al Heyman, he got ownership in these skyscrapers, and now he getting this money monthly. And that's how Mayweather is good.
Well, no, I'm glad. I appreciate. I appreciate Caleb. I appreciate you saying that. Look, I appreciate you airing that out because that's the only reason why I was trying to bring that up. I'm just saying, like, if it was me on the Robin side to that Batman, bro, you're gonna have to run me some of this money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you let me get it. I threw it away, not knowing it, and then he was like, "Hey, yeah, that's your fault. I'm on the Devontae right now. He nice."
Go ahead, Ronnie.
To add to what Caleb was saying, to add to what Caleb was saying, see. Mayweather, it wasn't his really job to teach Adrien that. He led by example.
Exactly.
So
I get it.
So what Floyd did was he fought and he won. And before the Oscar De La Hoya fight, he was Pretty Boy Floyd, and only true boxing fans knew who he was. So he did the little sombrero and did the little publicity stunt to build a fan base to hate him, and he started making pay-per-view numbers. So Floyd started making 40, 50, 60, 100 million a fight. He didn't get endorsements. Floyd was smart on how
there was strategy with it. There was strategy.
Oh, I'm not knocking it. I promise you, I'm not knocking it, Ronnie. I'm not knocking it. No, I wasn't trying to downplay it. I'm talking about he put it through the olive branch. He put it through the olive branch.
Let him get it off, Ronnie. Move on.
What I was trying to say, I'm trying to make it short and sweet. What I'm trying to say is he made all this bread, right, over the course of his career. Adrien Broner did not make that much money. So they're in two different tax brackets. Floyd can teach you what to do with $5 million. Floyd made an excess of $800 million. So you can't make $5 million stretch like you can make $800 million stretch. Floyd made damn near $1 billion in boxing alone. Adrien Broner has not made $100 million in boxing. So there's nothing he could have showed him because he didn't even make the money to begin with.
That hell of a point. I mean, if I can't show you how to save 1,000 when you got 100.
Man, okay.
I mean, that's some real shit. But let's get
back to 100 to get to 1,000.
Let's get back to this other news. So we was talking about UFC earlier. So UFC owner Dana White on New Year's Eve, he was caught in a domestic dispute in a club at a resort in Cabo San Lucas. So we actually have the video. So can we pop it up?
A todos mis compañeros del antro, feliz año nuevo.
So as you see, it was in the club. They seemed like they was arguing. She turned, she smacks him first. He smacks her immediately after. Then he smacks her a second time. And then they get into like a pushing and wrestling battle. And then that ensues for like another minute. And then the video cuts off. So now they're bringing up a bunch of conversation of dual combat and saying that when a woman attacks you first, is there a such thing as dual combat as a man? But it's crazy because when you look at a black man like Ray Rice, where his girl attacked him in the elevator and he didn't even punch her. He kind of like swiped her away and she fell and hit her head. And we all know what happened to Ray Rice. That was the end of his career. There's so many NFL players that get caught in a domestic dispute, and that was the end of their career. That was the last thing that we heard. We just heard Gervonta Davis. He just got arrested for domestic dispute a few days ago. That was last weekend, and they were making a big deal about his arrest, and he has a fight coming up on Saturday. So what else? You got Quavo. There was an argument with him. Him and Sweetie in the elevator, and she was trying to take his belongings, and he pushed her out the way to grab his own belongings, and they were saying that he should go to jail for assault. But then when the owner of one of these leagues gets caught in one of these, now it's a conversation of dual combat, and they're trying to justify his actions for him smacking his wife multiple times in plain sight. We all seen it. What are y'all thoughts on this Dana White situation? And what do y'all think should happen?
So if this were Michael Jordan, if this were Magic Johnson hitting their wife, and we saw this on video, let me ask y'all a question. Do you think the other owners of those leagues would make them try to sell their team or call for some type of suspension or fine? Probably, right? He is the owner of a major sports entity, the UFC. And it's clear as day, yes, she hit him first. But as a man in that situation, you walk away. You walk away. You walk away. You don't swing back. You walk away. He chose to swing back twice. Looks like possibly he may have done that before. We don't know. We're not in his marriage. We're not in their life. But just the comfort level, it seemed, to just go ahead and just hit back. It wasn't a pause. It wasn't a hesitation. It just seemed like maybe that's happened before with them. But we all know, again, if this were a Michael Jordan, a Magic Johnson, any other minority league owner of a sports league, it would be all over social media. Media would be calling for their heads, but hardly anybody is talking about this. And I'm glad we are. But in this situation, no, you just walk away. There's no justification. You have to understand, for one, you just don't hit back at a woman. For two, again, you're the owner of a major sports league. The cameras are always on you. There is no excuse. You walk away.
I think that to piggyback on that, Amrock, that's showing chivalry, that's showing self-control, that's showing respect to women, that's showing something that I would like to say that we all have indirectly been taught either by a man or by a woman, meaning that, these type of actions are acceptable or not acceptable. But at the same time, the biggest point that you made was that there was no hesitation in his reaction to her hit. And when you think about who you are in that type of situation, you shouldn't just think about, I'm a husband, we're in a nightclub, I've been drinking, you've been drinking, who knows, I could have been looking at a woman, you caught me, hey, what are you doing looking at her like that, whatever. If you're the owner of your own sports league or organization, I would like to assume that you are in a different level of comfort, like you feel better about yourself, or at least maybe certain things shouldn't affect you the same way as it would someone at the bottom, or even the middle class, or even at a regular high, but not at the tax bracket that man's in. Like, this is Dana White we're talking about. Like, you're just going to openly slap your wife. Like, and to me, like you said, it's not just about the freedom to do so, it's the entitlement to do it. I don't care what nationality you are. You do not do things of that nature in a public setting. Even if you are someone that does it in behind closed doors, you don't do it unless you fear no one. You don't even fear God's wrath in that matter, because there is no coming back from this. There is no saving face. All you can say now is he's a businessman. You can't talk about the husband that he is, the father, or any of those different things, because now your image is tarnished. Your name is drugged through the mud. And then for us on the other side to say that, now let's try to see if it's something that is more prevalent to like protect the man in this scenario. We're men. We get hit in the mouth all the time. It might not actually be physical, but we take disrespect every day. I'm sure whatever it was that his wife had did, but before slapping him in the face, he could have took it and turned the other cheek.
I mean, I agree with that. I just want to ask y'all, because you mentioned that we as men are definitely taught not to put our hands on women in any scenario. As a little boy, if you hit a little girl, you're told at 3, 5, 7 years old, hey, you're a boy, you don't hit girls, you don't hit women. So that's something that is like drilled and instilled in us from like the get-go. But Alvin, you got daughters. Ronnie got daughters. Yajaketa got daughters. So what do you guys teach your daughters in these scenarios as far as dealing with, abusive men, and as far as teaching them not to attack a man and not to, initiate these scenarios? Because this stuff is obviously taught to us, but I think that as women, they don't really, they tell, don't be with an abusive man, but a lot of the times, they're not really specifically taught how to manage their emotions. They get emotional and they strike, and that's the start of a lot of domestic, scenarios. So how do y'all teach your daughters, to react in a different manner, and what is it that you would want to tell them in these type of situations?
Do unto others as you would want done unto you, and you go from there. Go ahead,
we can't do.
Go ahead, No. The only reason why I said it that black and white, because I knew Yajaketa was going to say something. So go ahead and jump on it.
You just wanted to.
Yeah, I did. I did. I did.
we can't say do to others what you want done, because if you take the scenario of what happened, she hit him and he hit her back, right? Now, then he went in for another hit. That the first hit, I think a man, let me put this out here. I don't think a man should hit a woman. A man shouldn't hit a woman. I'll just leave it at that. So when I watched the video, when I first seen the first hit, I actually seen it as you have, when I was at EMT, they teach you two things. It's called fight or flight. And some people's natural reaction when something happens is to fight, which in his background, he was actually a boxing coach, right? So maybe that first reaction was, oh shit, somebody hit me. Bam, hit him back, right? Not realizing who he really hitting. Now, once again, a man should not hit a woman. Now, when he did it the second time, okay, now you're not in fight and flight mode. You just putting your hands on a woman. And just like Amrock said, you must be comfortable doing what you're doing. So going back to what Caleb's saying of teaching my daughter, I can't speak to nobody else's daughter, but I would advise my daughter not to put her hands on a man, because there is consequences when you put your hands on anybody. As men, we are taught not to hit a woman. But then on the other side, we'll teach our son, hey, if he hits you, you hit him back. So maybe we shouldn't put our hands on anybody. That's my standpoint. Like, if you have the power to walk away from a woman hitting you, you also can make that conscious choice when another guy hits you. Now, it may be a little more forceful, and so you guys might have your little things about that. But if you can walk away from one situation, you can also walk away from other situations. So what I would tell my daughter is not to put her hands on a man. And then also on the other side, you do not stay with a man that puts his hands on you, because at the end of the day, if a man is willing to put his hands on you, he doesn't have enough respect for himself to walk away.
Dang, it was a lot. It's a lot to touch on, but try to answer everything that was said. I think you guys got it wrong about what we're taught as men. Now, there are some of us that do that are taught to keep your hands off of women, but guess what? That's not what our hip hop culture teaches. That's not what our single mothers that got these sons. I got a lot of personal friends that was raised by single mothers, and their mama told them, whoever hit you in elementary, hit their ass back, girl or boy.
Talk to her.
Because ain't no fathers around. So these absent fathers, there's no fathers in the homes teaching the sons or the daughters the right thing. And then the moms, they're single moms and they're all over the place and they just trying to protect their baby. So if they got their 4-year-old that's getting bullied by a little girl, they telling the little boy that, man, you better beat that little girl ass. Like, I know that occurs. So I don't think that that's what's taught anymore. I think there are some people that are still teaching that, but I don't think that's what's taught. And in our music, we talk about this was what's in the lyrics all day. Slap a bitch, fuck a bitch up. I wish a bitch would. That's what's being taught. And since these kids are listening to this shit and being around this shit more than their actual parents or single mothers, that's not what's taught anymore. Don't nobody got no respect. Nobody has any respect. The girls either. So the girls aren't being taught to contain themselves. Now, what would I teach my daughters? I, of course, tell my daughters, no, you do not resort. If you have to put your hands on a man, you walk the fuck away. It's for a number of reasons. Not only because he's probably going to hurt you, because by nature, a man is more stronger than a woman. But this is what I tell them. If you love me, don't do it, because I don't give a fuck. This is on record. Any one of my daughters, if a man physically does anything to any one of my daughters, I'm going to kill him. And I'm not even playing. So if you don't want me to go to the penitentiary for the rest of my life, make sure you don't cause that to where a man is going to put his hands on. If you won't start the confrontation, because I'm going to be forced to kill this man and protect my daughter for the rest of their life. So yes, you don't want people to. You want to do like I think the statement earlier. You want to others that you want them to do to you. Yeah, keep your hands off. But I think a lot of these boys, especially in our community, I don't give Ray Rice and them no excuses for putting your hands on a man. First of all,
Exactly.
Let me say on a woman. You shouldn't do that shit, bro. Period. Like I done been in situations like it ain't no I'm defending myself. Shut the fuck up. You can grab her and you can grab her hands. You don't have to swing like that. So when I see this shit, it just disgusts me because it's just so easy for them to do it. It's like no thought. They just react and just swing. I'm like, damn, you ain't give that shit no thought. You know what I'm saying?
Zero thought.
And did it twice. And did it
to your wife.
That's real.
That's what gets me is doing it to your wife.
I'm gonna get to him. Young, I keep forgetting your name. Rich Carlton. My bad, bro.
You're good. No, you're good.
I was gonna get to him. Yeah, young Dana White, man. Like young Rich Carlton said, he swung on his wife, like with no, and like y'all said, and everybody said, it was no hesitation. Like you do this shit all the time, bro. You did it twice. Like y'all said, sometimes it's the nature to hit to just it's like to react. But the nigga went in for another one, so that means like you do it all the time. So that's very unacceptable. But guess what? And people probably get tired of my mouth saying this. He's a white man. He's not gonna have no ramification. He's gonna get away with this shit. We're gonna talk about this shit for a couple of weeks. He's gonna bounce right the fuck back. They get away with everything. If they could kill these white officers, could kill these 12-year-old boys and no ramifications, you think he ain't gonna be able to slap another white woman and not bounce back from it? Dana White
exactly. Listen, I agree with you. Here's what I'll say. When you're white, it's right. When you're white, it's right. It's ridiculous. If this was any other person, we'd be crucifying them. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it is Dana White, like I don't even understand how there's not more vitriol for just him embarrassing his wife. And then not only that, his wife came out and said he's never done this. He don't do this. Like I think people genuinely see that and think, man, he's a good guy. He gets the benefit of the doubt. And man, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he's obviously done this before. Think about it logically, right? And let me preface by saying this. We are in a society now, and you shouldn't hit women, but women are more masculine, and I think a lot of men are more feminine. So I think this is going to be a trend that continues to happen because women are making more money. Women are more entrepreneurs. Women are taking bigger steps, and men are kind of falling off to the wayside to an extent. So, I mean, it's an issue I think that will be bigger moving forward too, in my opinion. But
I mean, it's an issue going on right now. We just had the biggest trial, waiting on 2 years with the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. So, and that was just what Ronnie was speaking on as far as our community, how our community is handled it. But I'm less about how the scenario. I'm more on the media. Because the media is not giving this no spins. You're not finding you search it up and you're finding blog sites like the PolitiKan Forum, like our own, out there reporting on this. But you're not going to a CNN, MSNBC. You're not going to these major outlets and finding any type of coverage on this. And it's crazy, when TMZ puts it out. TMZ Sports puts it out though, but TMZ, the main channel, doesn't cover it. Why is TMZ Sports covering it? Because Dana White is a sports league owner. It's the way that they spin things in the media. And then I've actually watched a few of the major networks. I think it was NBC, and they were talking about mutual combat and start talking about, hey, well, is it mutual combat if a man is defending himself against a woman? So now they were literally trying to spin the story as if Dana White was defending himself against his wife. And this is like the craziness that, like, as black people, I do not understand why we even turn on any form of mainstream media at this point. It's not for us. It is not for us. It is not for us. So, that's why we have this platform here so that we can, give our side of the news and tell the stories that need to be told instead of the bullshit that they focus on. Go ahead, man. Close it out before we move on.
thank you for saying that, because I wanted to give you your roses for that reason. Because it's wild to think that our music, which is created by us, which is censored by others, which lyrics are pushed in a certain way, in a certain demographic, get more spins, that this type of reaction is now the norm. We're all desensitized of this. Emasculating men, over-masculating women, everything being equal, like all of this is crazy. And the thing that hurts the most, the thing that hurts the most is what you said at the beginning. Let it have been, Amrock said it. He said, let it have been Magic Johnson. Let it have been Michael Jordan. All I'm thinking is we're continuing to see Black men being ostracized for one mistake. Just step out of line. I dare you. If you're anything other than us, you can actually take a life and still be okay, still be considered the utmost example, cookie cutter. We should make 10 of you and make and share them throughout the world. It hurts because, you know, we all are men who you know, try to do right by others, and here we are talking about some shit like this. Like, wow. Wow.
I know. That's why the title of this episode is Oh My God. These topics, you know, are just wild, man. But we got to get to this next topic, which is the Damar Hamlin situation. So on Monday Night Football, Damar Hamlin in the first quarter makes a routine tackle, and then after he gets up and he collapsed, goes into cardiac arrest. Now, it's being reported that he was revived twice on the field. So I guess after his initial collapse, the team did CPR on him and revived him. And after they revived him, he went out for a second time, and that's when the Bengals medical staff joined in, and they revived him a second time. So that's when everybody went into hysteria and started to cry, and that's when you seen everybody go, you know, crazy on the field, is when they lost him that second time on the field and they revived him. Now he is in critical condition. They have postponed the game. The Bills are set to play, I believe, the New England Patriots this weekend, and they said that week 18 will resume. So they will still have to play that game. This other game is being postponed. What are y'all thoughts on this whole scenario? And Amrock, I want to go to you first because you sent me that clip of Shannon and Skip and Shannon. So please touch on this whole scenario for me.
Yeah, man. Well, prayers to Hamlin and to his family right now. We're praying, making sure that you know, he's hopefully going to make a recovery. And yeah, I mean, that's shocking. I never seen anything like that. You know, somebody literally in the field of play, in the field of battle, and then your heart suddenly just stops. That has to be on like some scary shit. I don't wish that on, you know, my worst enemy or anybody. Classy move by the NFL to cancel the game and just let it be, so that, you know, the teammates could go to the hospital and the coaching staff go to the hospital and try to be with him at that point in time as much as they could. Skip Bayless. This guy should have been off the air. The only thing this man talks about is how much he hates LeBron James and loves Tom Brady. And the fact that you put out the tweet that you put out, basically to paraphrase, you know, like pretty much why they stopping the game at such a critical point in the season and that this game means so much. But then he tried to like say, oh, well, you know, now that is irrelevant because of this moment. No, we know what you meant, Skip Bayless. We know what you meant. I don't understand. He said that Fox didn't check him on his statement. Now, if this were ESPN and this was Stephen A. Smith or somebody to that matter, he would have been canceled very quickly. for his comments. They were insensitive. Skip Bayless, again, he doesn't belong in the air. I don't know what the hell this dude's talking about most of the time. Very insensitive to the family. This guy, again, as most of the people, including Ryan Clark on ESPN, spoke about, this man is not just a football player. The NFL is not just a brotherhood of football players. This is a brotherhood of men, mostly black men, mostly young black men. This man, I believe, is 23, 24 years old, went into cardiac arrest. That's hard to imagine, that's hard to process, especially, again, right there in that moment of field of play. Everybody's probably thinking it was just an injury or he got the wind knocked out of him. This man literally went into cardiac arrest. So to somebody like Skip Bayless, he needs to be off the air. He needs to be removed. It's about time. And comments like this insinuate his bigotry towards specifically black athletes all the time. And again, his comment was ridiculous, and shame also on Fox for apparently not speaking with him or checking him about his comment as well. But prayers up to the Hamlin and Hamlin's family.
I'll go. I got one thing to say, and I agree with a lot of stuff you said, Rock. But being a football lover and someone that loves the game and loves the physicality of the game, we talk about how we die for this and we would live for this, right? But then when it actually happens, we realize, we may put on a show out there. They may put on this show, but they're still humans at the end of the day. And as humans, we can't sit and lie that the most physical parts of the game aren't what we love the most about the game, though. So, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying, what happened to him, they should play the games, or I agree with Skip Bayless. But, I'm looking at it from a perspective of, this is the violent, this is the violence that we said we want from things and that we see in our music and all this stuff. Like, when we see it play out in real life, that's not actually what we want.
But I'm sorry, just real quick. But also, that could have been a result of a heart condition that he may have had that could have went undetected. We don't necessarily know unless it was reported. I'm not sure. I didn't hear anything.
No, it hasn't been.
But yeah, we don't know if it was football related. Like that could have been a condition that he may have.
And that's
going on.
That's what makes it so crazy is that it doesn't seem to be football related,
right?
Because he made the tackle, we all assumed in the moment in the heat of the battle that he made the tackle, and then something went wrong because of the tackle. But then we're watching the tackle, and as we're watching the replay, we're like, that tackle ain't enough to
we expect to see a bone pop out. We've seen that. We've seen twist of an ankle. We've seen those things, but for somebody literally just to be standing there and just fall back and literally have a heart attack at 24 on a playing field, we haven't seen that. That was serious stuff, man.
Go ahead, y'all.
I think when we say cardiac arrest, we're not giving it enough light.
Yeah.
Cardiac arrest. I was a EMT, so you don't perform CPR on somebody if they have a pulse. So that means what we witnessed wasn't just cardiac arrest. We witnessed somebody dying.
Exactly.
He died on the field. And I think when we just say cardiac arrest, it makes it sound cute and everything like that. Oh,
like an old person thing, a heart.
Yeah. Oh man, that sucks. That's why when M-Rock is putting light on Skip Bayless, yo, bro, somebody died on the field, and you wanted the game to continue. Like, we got to think about our mindsets on that. Somebody literally died on the field. That's why everybody was crying. Like, you got to put it all together.
Right.
They seen a person die on the field. Whether you bring them now, kudos to the emergency staff because as an EMT, we are taught you have what they call the golden hour. A golden hour is to get that person from point A to the hospital. But you really have that golden hour is not an hour. It's really 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to get somebody that does not have a heartbeat, to get a heartbeat back, get them to the hospital so they can continue doing what they do. So this man dies on the field. Then what I have heard and what I have seen, it wasn't the NFL that told them, hey, cancel the game. It was the players and coaches that said, let's cancel the game. So
let me tap in right there on there. So the NFL called a 5-minute break, and the players said, 5-minute break my ass. We ain't playing shit. And after the 5-minute break, they tried to call another 5-minute break, and the players reiterated, we not playing. And then after the 10 minutes, that's when the NFL finally postponed the game.
So in my opinion, with everything that I said for myself, I love sports, and just like how Caleb said about the media and everything, NFL does a real shitty job of caring for black men. I mean, at the end of the day, they like, okay, he died on the field. Okay, cart him off the field. Y'all continue playing because we own y'all, because we pay y'all. Y'all continue paying and playing. And kudos to the Bengals and the Bills for saying, freak that, we not playing. One of our brothers is down.
All right, can I go?
Go ahead.
Because this is very similar to the stand that could have been made by the Los Angeles Lakers during the bubble championship. Like the Milwaukee Bucks decided not to play. And with that being tied together, I think it's kind of ironic that of the two sports, you have Colin Kaepernick still ostracized, not able to play or be, really taken serious in the NFL, but yet Hamlin died, like you said, on the field, right? Next man up mentality. Oh, okay, he's gone. Let's move on to the next one. There was not an ounce of decency, if you think about it. Like if in fact that was his last game, the last play or not, right? None of us feel like, well, I know we do, but the way it was perceived across the media that day, it didn't seem like it was anything of serious nature. You still had clips on Facebook and on Instagram. He just stood up and then falls down. And like, oh, like you say, cardiac arrest. And Mark said it, cardiac arrest. I'm looking like cardiac arrest is death. Like, so he died, they revived him, and we're just like, we're not caring at all. There's no, not to say you have to do an autopsy on someone who's still alive, but there's no dialogue for us to think about or talk about or debate about. This happened, and it's just a part of life. We have to worry about the football season. We have to worry about playoffs. We have to worry about who's next up. So I don't know. It just proves how much entertainment we are to everybody else. Exactly. Our life is to continue to entertain others, like the gladiator days. Instead of fighting lions, we're fighting each other because we're not smart enough to come together and do something different with our talents.
The question should be, if the Bills didn't want to play their next game, should they be allowed not to play?
They have to. Are they even in playoff contention where their games matter?
Yes, they are. So the Bills are.
So that's why they have. So that's why they have to play.
Okay, so let me explain what Skip was trying to say. Is that the Bills and the Chiefs are number 1 and 2. The Bengals are number 3. So whoever won that game could possibly move into the first seed if the Chiefs lose. So the top 2 teams get a bye week the first game. So the Bengals and the Bills were both fighting possibly for that second seed to get that first week bye so that they don't have to play a wild card, which is major if you're trying to make it to a Super Bowl.
But a man's fighting for his life.
It's bigger than football. For his life. It's bigger than football.
Forget your fantasy football.
Bigger than football.
So there's a lot of stuff about this topic once again. I was having a debate with my daughter earlier about what caused it, and she found this doctor on TikTok that was explaining that I forgot the medical term, but it was a rare case where if you hit the heart at a certain moment where it started to reset, something like that. So they were saying that it was something like that. I was debating, I was calling bullshit. This is, of course, everyone call me a conspiracy theorist, but I believe that the COVID vaccine got something to do with it, but that's neither here or there.
Could be
there's a lot of deaths. There's been a lot of deaths regarding that, but that's another topic. So about, what actually happened, we don't know. I don't think it was football related. I looked at the hit. I call bullshit on that doctor. I don't believe that everything that doctors say is correct, but it's a possibility. So, about what it was, it football, was it not? We don't know. But let's get to Shannon and Skip. Shannon, I don't really fuck with Shannon Sharp. He be fake mad how he dissed Kyrie and how he talked so badly about Kyrie. Like, I understand you don't agree with him, but to sit up there and bash that man on TV the way he did, Shannon be fake mad, man. He fake mad. I don't fuck with Shannon. I think he's fake. I think he's phony. And as far as the Skip Bayless tweet, now, based off of him being on TV, I don't think Skip is that bad on TV. I think he gets a bad rap from LeBron James fans. But when Skip talks, he don't just talk. He has stats. He has stuff to back up what he says about somebody. So he loves Michael Jordan. So based off him being TV, I can't really call him a bigot or something like that, because he's in love with Michael Jordan. He loves Michael Jordan. He loves certain players. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be racist against one black man and not racist against another black man. But I did read that Skip did type the N-word talking about Kareem way back in the day. So, whether he was a racist or not, I think so this probably goes against popular opinion. I'm going to ask everybody this. If you're at Ruth Chris as a waitress or any other corporation, the mall, In-N-Out or anything, and one of your coworkers drops on the floor and dies or something like that, are they going to close up operations or are they going to keep on working?
Okay,
now,
let me tap into that. I want to answer that. Okay, so the difference between that scenario and this scenario is not only are they making money off of what you do physically on the field, but they're making money off your name, image, and likeness. And this is why not only is it's bigger than just what you see on the television, because the sponsorship ads are getting sold, the ticket seats are getting sold, the concessions are getting sold. There's so many basic things that they are making money off of your likeness by you being on that field. So you are basically putting your whole self imagery and your physical self out there on harm's way so that they can make a profit. That's not the same as being a waitress. The liability is completely different.
I get what you're saying, Ronnie. You're using an analogy. I get what you're saying, though, Ronnie.
I get what you're saying, but they're not. They don't equate to me. They're not on the same. One is like this, and one is like that.
I didn't finish it. That's why $100 before I finished the point. So I agree with you. If I'm a player, I ain't playing shit either. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's me, but I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to make is, are you guys surprised? This is how America is. They don't give a fuck about us.
Exactly.
They don't give a fuck about nothing. We're all numbers to them. And in all companies, no matter what it was, no matter what it is, they're not shutting down shit for us. I'm not surprised. So ain't nobody gonna stop anything in whatever profession it is. Nobody is closing up shit. And I think that's what
I agree. I agree. Now, I agree with you. I agree with you, Ronnie, 1,000%. Because if any of us drop dead in our own job right now, they would ship our ass out and people would clock out at 5.
So what Skip was trying to say, I don't think he should have said it, being that he is a white man. Yeah. People don't like. I think what he was saying was, it's correct. Like, ain't nobody stopping operations with nothing. The everything goes on, which is bullshit, but that's what it is. I don't think he should have said that, but that's what he was trying to say. Now,
we have a bigger.
He's a bigot and all this other stuff. I think that's a little stretch. Like,
we have a bigger issue. We have a bigger issue with Skip Bayless because of how he treated Shannon with the Tom Brady stuff. That's, black people don't be forgetting when he a Hall of Famer, you disrespected him. It's not really no going back on that. So anything Skip says that's a chance to attack him moving forward, we're gonna jump on it. Let's be real.
I just think it was okay, yes, insensitive, but what he was trying to say is ain't no business in America about to stop for not one person. Ain't no business in doing that. They not doing the shit. America don't give a fuck about nobody, especially niggas. They not stopping shit. I applaud the players and coaches for taking a stand and stopping. I applaud you guys. But I'm saying what Skip was trying to say, he was just basically telling the truth. That's all.
And piggyback off of what Ronnie said, if you just take your own job, for example, how many days of grieving do you get?
3. I think it's 3 for somebody. I think it's 5 for a close relative, like your parents or something.
So you give me 5 days.
They're gonna give
my
it to
mom
you,
or dad
but the business is gonna keep going.
Exactly.
The business is gonna keep going.
And Carlton, if you remember, a few weeks ago we were talking about what's his name, Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, and how he shouldn't have took that. Came out and played this year and how he got injured and how each player has to realize that they are a business and a corporation and you are a subcontractor and that you are your own business doing business with a business and that you have to handle business first. And as black people, we get so stuck in the love of the sport that we sacrifice ourselves for the sport instead of worrying about the business. And if anything, if this scenario shows us is that if we're going to play in the NFL, if we're going to be subjected to these type of scenarios where we're going to have to play through it, then we got to make sure that our business is high and tight and that we get paid top dollar in every dollar that we are owed because these contracts can be real tricky. But let's get to this last topic real fast. It ain't going to be nothing quick because we ain't going to have much to say about this because it's something that we already knew. So we talked about Donald Trump's tax returns being taken. We already knew that he got found, well, not him, but his organization got found guilty of tax fraud. They found over 10,000 infractions in his tax return. So he's basically claiming fake things and fraudulent, pushing fraudulent numbers. But it comes back in the year 2020, Trump has paid $0 in taxes. And if they look back at the other ones, which they're going to try to subpoena, he probably hasn't paid taxes in forever. So, hate to be the one to say I told you, but I told you. And guess what? He's not going to be indicted, and he is still running for president in 2024. Closing thoughts on this last topic before we get up out of here.
Hey, look. Don't be mad at Trump because he knows how to finesse the system the best. You know who else didn't? You guys talk about all these taxes. You know who else didn't pay taxes? FedEx.
Amazon.
You know who else? Amazon. You know who else? Nike. You know who else? Salesforce. You know who else? Dish Network. Come on, man. Listen. He has figured out that you can see real estate is one of those things, and I'm in the mortgage industry. But real estate's one of those things where you can have a appreciating asset, but then write it off as a depreciation on your taxes. So although you're making money from it, you can still write it off as you're not making money. You can write off, at his golf course, he could write off the lawnmowers and the rakes and the tool. He can write off all that stuff. So if you have a way to balance that out and pay no taxes, then honestly, Trump, I don't agree with a lot of Trump stuff that Trump does, but when it comes to this tax code, man, I have to agree with what he does. I mean, come on, we can't be mad. Church don't pay taxes either. So, I mean, what are we going to do? Go boycott our pastor because he don't pay taxes? No. So let's let this go.
Right. Yeah, to HRC's point, man, like he finesses the system. I mean, if he's going to get away with it, obviously, and he's going to get away with it. I mean, this is not the first time white people in America, especially white men, have gotten away with not paying taxes or not pulling their own weight or whatever the case may be. So, and he's in politics. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's learned a lot dealing with money, dealing with business, especially being in the politics game. He's learned a lot how to finesse the system. He's just playing the system. He's doing what most white people in that type of position do. And that's America for you, plain and simple. We're not surprised at all. Not surprised.
Of course, this is going on like the other fella said. Hood Rich Carlton and Amrock said, man, he finessed the system, and I personally don't like him. I don't like Donald Trump. You know, it's still fuck Donald Trump, but you know, he, of course, I mean, are we surprised that a white man is getting away with bullshit? Like this is all,
it's par for the course.
You feel me? They built this country on getting away with bullshit, on slaughtering a whole race and slaughtering people, and they found this country on death and destruction and bullying, man. So are we surprised that another white man is getting away with some bullshit? No, he's Donald Trump. He's Donald Trump. He's the same racist bigot that did have the presidency, did do more positive than this current president did, but that's another topic. But this racist motherfucker, he been getting away with this shit for years. What we gonna do now? Trying to punish him at 80? He ain't paid taxes his whole life. So, you know, he finessed the system. He's white. He's taking advantage of his white skin, his white privilege, and he doing that. Does that have anything to do with him being a president? I don't think so.
Do we care that he freed Kodak?
No.
Because he didn't.
I do.
Remember, guys, hey, for me personally, you want to go first, y'all?
Go ahead.
All right, so look, go ahead, yeah.
All I'm gonna say is it really finessing if you know how to play it? Like, if you know how to play the game,
Right. Yeah.
it's not finessing. You know how to play the game, and he knows the same thing. Like Hood Rich Carlton said, like Amazon didn't pay no taxes. You know who paying taxes? Every brother that's up on here. Hope you paying your taxes, because the government gonna come after you. They ain't gonna come after. They ain't coming after Trump. They're gonna come after you before they come after Trump. And so they get away with not paying taxes. Now, can he also play the game as in like, hey, you guys want me to pay taxes, but I was also the president of the United States, and the last time I checked, don't we, the people, pay for the president to be able to do all the stuff that the president? I'm paying for Joe Biden to do nothing right now. I am paying for Joe Biden to get free meals, smoking Joe, to be able to do whatever he wants to do. If he want to get on his jet, I'm paying for his jet. So maybe that's a part of the tax write-off that he put together, and he was like, hey, I was president for these years. And, you know, leave my business alone. And so they get away with it. And guess what? Why are we mad at? I'm not even mad at Trump. Like the fella said, he probably been getting away with this forever. And when he is 80, like my boy said, when he 80, we ain't like, he almost done anyway. But we worry about Trump and his taxes. But what about Brett Favre? His has nothing to do with taxes. He just stole. And
Right.
he's still going there. Brett Favre is still just walking around.
He's good. Brett Favre is good.
Now,
yeah.
now
he's
Brett Favre has finessed the system.
That's finesse.
No,
for
like
real.
you said,
Go ahead, go ahead, Alvin.
he
He
stole.
was stroking the system.
Pass that this way.
All I was
Go
going
ahead,
to say,
Alvin.
guys, is that like since the movie Little Rascals, we've always known that Donald Trump was about his money. We've always known that. And like I said, when he won as president, I was like, hey, I'm shocked, but it is what it is. The man knows business. Everything he does is about the dollar. Being the president was not about leading the world. It was about more opportunities to learn how to make more money and find more loopholes. So at this point, the only thing I can say is, why are we even talking about it when we know he knows better than we do?
Well, here's the thing, though. Is America not a business, though? I mean,
No, it is. It's a
let me-
501c3. It's a 501c3. We're sitting on this nonprofit.
Get off, Kayla.
Let me get to that, because the whole reason why this platform exists is because I was in a process called self-actualization, and I started to study. And I'm like, okay, if we're in America, what is America? And America is a democracy. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, America is a republic. Okay, well, what does that mean? a republic is a capitalistic based system. Well, what does that mean? That means that if I can do something better than you, I can capitalize and take the money. So you don't even have to, it's not about ownership. It's not about loyalty. It's about taking advantage. It's about loopholes. It's about making profit.
Yeah, information.
And so this whole system is based upon profit.
It's based
This is
upon
a corporation
profit.
that's
100%.
in business to make profit, and that's what America is. That's what the republic is. That's what all this shit is it's a corporation.
And they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know.
Are you saying
incorporated? United States is incorporated. United States. Why is United States different from North America? USA isn't a continent. North America is a continent. USA is part of that continent. That's because USA and all these different parts of this continent are corporations. So let's get some shout outs before we get up out of here, man.
I'll start it off. Shout out to 2023 because you're mine. This year, everything I want, I'm going to have. I'm tired of waiting for everybody else. If you don't go out and get it, I'm taking it, and that's goes.
You
for
said that before.
I did. No, I did. No, listen, I really did. In 2022, I ate well. This year, I don't want anybody else to eat. So if you're not ready for the smoke, I help provide you some. But much love to all you gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Listen, I'm on the same sentiment as you. Listen, I want everybody to eat, but this year they're not eating from my plate. I'm gonna go ahead and have to eat everything that's on my plate this year because I got steps that I gotta start taking in my life. So, I want to see all y'all eat, but you know what I'm saying? This year it's about eating off my own plate so I can have a feast next year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody, to all you gentlemen, to everybody that's watching. 2023. I mean, the people they can eat off the plate, but look, this, we moving this way. If you moving this way with me, we moving this way. If you moving that way, then stay over there, plain and simple. But if we all moving this way, and even if I gotta follow or lead, whatever, we moving this way. We going.
Facts.
So,
facts.
Man, you want?
Yeah, I'll let you close it out. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go real quick.
Go ahead, Bounty Tank. Close it out, Bounty Tank.
Happy New Year to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And y'all niggas came out here on some Snoop Dogg vibes when he made the last meal. Talking about this is the last time these fuck motherfuckers gonna eat off me. I feel y'all, but I want to give a shout out to everybody that made it to 2023. It is an accomplishment still being here alone. A lot of us did not make it. So, I want to definitely give a shout out to everybody that's still watching, everybody that's all the fellas on here participating. And like y'all said, man, it's time to go up this year, man. We got a lot of shit popping, at PolitiKan Broadcasting this year. So many things to name, but it's time. It's time for everybody to level up and for everybody to eat. And you ain't even focused. We guys, to be honest, we ain't focused on these outsiders. What they eat don't make us shit. So we gonna focus on what we doing, and we gonna continue to grow and ascend. And I'm looking forward to what's coming in 2023.
Yes, sir. Preach.
Shout out to all the brothers on here. None of these brothers that you see have anorexic dreams because they all eat it. So all I want to say for 2023, baby, I'm about to treat you like Brett Favre and start stroking you.
Oh. I'm gone, man. I got kids.
But then you know about the stroke gang. All skeet.
Oh.
All right, man. I want to shout out all y'all brothers, man. One thing, when we talk about 2023, for me, it's like surreal because, I've been at this. April is going to be 5 years now. So I've been at this, for a while now. I've done everything from Roku channels. That's how I met Amrock. I was doing Instagram lives. That's how I met Yazzie and Alvin. You know, I had a studio and looking for talent. That's how I met Ronnie. You know, me plugged up with Murdoch. That's how I met Carlton. It's crazy how all this shit comes together. And now, like, I reached the point where I'm in the zone. Like, it was a point at the beginning of this shit where everything I tried, nothing would work. Nothing was working. And now I can't. It's like I can't miss. It's like Steph Curry. I'm just throwing the shit out the rim and everything's just fucking going in. It's like a different feeling. I can't explain it. Like, you know, it's like
I love that, bro. Salute.
You know, it's
Salute
like
to you,
like
bro.
that.
That's good to hear, bro.
It's like that. It's like for me. It's like, how could I explain? How I explained this to my wife yesterday. This is how I explained it. It's like Game 7. We down by 1, and I'm going to the free throw line to hit the game-winning 2 free throws. And the whole crowd is screaming, and it's the most pressure that I've ever been in ever in my life. But at the same time, this is the calmest and most confident that I've ever been in my life at the same time. And that right there is a blessing in itself. 2023, no more humble shit, man. We on our shit. We coming for everything that we said we was coming for. And everybody eats, B, but not y'all niggas, because we going to eat y'all plates too. We out of here, man.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
All right, yeah.
Good night.
Stop me! You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
Smoking Dank Sinatra, that's all gas. On the hunt in the tall grass. Intercepting every ball pass, then I run it back, that's a TD. Check the scoreboard, y'all last. We up 1, you see me. Pussy niggas wanna talk about it, go to Hellcat, no demon. I be politicking on your broadcast at the red carpet like the famous homie. Ask your bitch, really famous homie, and you know it's in me. It ain't on me. So creative.